All right, guys. So I'm going to be talking about another comic review, and this one is another book that comes from my good friend, the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you once again, brother. And this is Ain't No Grave. This is an Image comic miniseries that was written by Skottie Young with artwork, and it was co-drawn by Skottie Young by George Corona. And yeah, so this comic is from Skottie Young, like I just said, Jesus, who most of you guys would know best as the creator of I Hate Fairyland. And there are some similarities of like a revenge story, and it's also not your typical Western revenge story, if that makes any sense. So the comic settles around a woman known as Ryder, who is a former outlaw who has settled down and made a family, but she's basically come upon a sickness that is killing her. They don't say which, but it's supposed to be a Western story, so for sake of argument, I'm going to say tuberculosis. Got the old consumption. So Ryder proceeds to leave her family behind, believing that she can save herself from death by killing death. She goes to a place called the Cypress, which is the afterlife, and proceeds to hunt down death in a 5-issue miniseries that leads her down the road to the Grim Reaper himself. So the comic is again, it has a lot of storytelling of like your typical a Western revenge story or a Western story in its own right, but I do like that it has this supernatural twist. I am always a sucker for Western stories that do like a supernatural twist or have a monster in it. I do enjoy a good Western, but like what really tickles my pickle is when you throw in like a supernatural element or like a monster or a dinosaur in it. That will always make me go, like make me peek over the fence like, what do you got there? Is that a Western with a dinosaur in it? Can I read it? Anyway, so Skottie Young and George Corona's artwork is just phenomenal. It's a great pairing. I'm trying to find like a good image that could probably work, because there's one whole issue that is nothing but there's only one line of dialogue at the end, and this comic is carried by art. Let me see what I can find here that's kind of a perfect example. There we go. Something like it's stuff like this, or like it's shit like that, right? Like it's just like you could just want to hang a picture of it, right? Ryder herself is a pretty interesting character in her own right, in that she basically wants to cheat the time she has left against death and be with a family, and she thinks that she deserves it. Like she's not that. She keeps saying like she's not that woman anymore. And like Death, when she meets him, he's like, congratulations, you're like every other outlaw I've ever met in my entire existence. You think, oh, I have a family now and I raised a kid, that makes you okay? Do you realize the amount of people you killed? They don't have that same opinion of you now, do they? Like, so I like that they actually Death brings that up in your typical former outlaw story, where it's like, yeah, you're not, you maybe think you're good, but like, do they have that opinion? The comic is also no surprise. Each chapter is named after the 5 stages of grief, and I like how they intersect the 5 stages of grief with the issues. This is a very open shut story. There's no way you could get a sequel, and I don't think I'd want a sequel. Maybe a spin-off of more of this universe, but like this is an open shut comic. It's also not for kids. There's a lot of nudity in here, whereas where it's very clear that like I Hate Fairyland was more about tongue-in-cheek, dark comedy with Skottie Young. Ain't No Grave is more talking about like something serious of like being with those you love and being, having the, deserving the time, using your time. Excuse me, I got tongue-tied there. Using your time and how you spend it in those last moments. And I think that's kind of a message that's, I feel like there's a lot of stories of like, oh, I can cheat death. I can beat, I can beat such and such and get my life back. But sometimes that just doesn't work out. That's not how things can play out. Like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta, like, you know, when faced with something of this degree, sometimes sometimes you just gotta appreciate the little things before you lose them. So, in that regard, it's a pretty solid book. There is some, like, there's nothing. It also has a bit of Coco in it, where it's more of a dark Western version of Coco, like The Land of the Dead is very, like, it feels like Coco, but imagine if Coco was like Red Dead Redemption. That's the best way I could put it. This is a beautiful book. It's got some solid writing, and it's a nice open shut story too. So if you like supernatural westerns, or just want like a nice like miniseries to read, here you go. This was also a fast read too. So yeah, I highly recommend this comic. It would be a disservice not to read this. So yeah. Anyway, so Chris, thank you once again for the comic, and as well as the others, brother. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. And you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've read Ain't No Grave, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.